be recording.
I was
review.
I was getting ready for the recording. I'm showering.
We're reviewing Psycho.
We're doing knife.
I was cooking while I was waiting.
Oh, showering while I was waiting.
Showering with Crocs on?
I mean, yeah.
Wait, yeah, you gotta die for that. I'm sorry.
Sean, please, no!
We saw Psycho.
Yeah, it was Psycho's the movie. Both Psychos.
Oh. All right, Sean. Well, how did you like Psycho?
Yeah, we're talking about
the original.
The original one for me has always honestly been one of my favorite movies of all time. Basically, I will say, just coming down to it, I would just simply say that almost everything about it is perfect.
I loved it. It was my first time watching it. My previous Hitchcock experience has been The Birds, which I thought was freaking dope. So, but when this was over, holy moly! And the guy who played Norman Bates.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wanted him a hug.
You wanted to give him a hug
before I knew what was going down.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything, just in case whoever's watching this might not have watched Psycho either.
Or been living under a rock, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. People out there. Honestly, this is a movie, if you haven't seen it, just watch it now. Yeah, so it's about this person that kind of goes out and tries to reestablish a new kind of way of life, which is just a way of setting up like all the other horror movies that have come out afterwards, like just finding a way to isolate the character and put them into an uncool situation, which in this case is when she arrives at the Bates Motel. I will say there's a lot of elements of the movie that really stand the test of time.
No, honestly, like, it felt like it had, except for like, you know, like how the vocabulary and maybe like the way their voices sound. It very well sounded like it could have been made in modern times because it's done so well. Like, it's very fluid, I think would be a great word.
It's one of the, most memorable things in cinema. Because even if you have known about the plot, like even if you know what's going to happen, this is still a movie you can really enjoy. You can at least see it, at the very least, for the dialogue, which is very, very well done. Well written to the point where everyone seems very real. One of the more interesting aspects about this movie, which was released in 1960, is there's a lot in it that might be seen as risque for the time. It really did push the envelope, which is very horror-like in a era that didn't really have those kinds of horror movies everyone knew about.
Well, Sean, it sounds like you're about to drop a fun fact.
What was the fun fact?
I don't know if you know this.
Oh, you can.
Sean reminded me about it. This was the first movie to ever show a flushing toilet.
Yes.
Fun fact.
Yeah, because that was too risque for the time. It wasn't even.
There was nothing in it.
Yeah, it's just
paper.
Just flush that paper down. Oh fuck! I think one of the biggest attachments I could say to this film, which I was seeing as we were watching it earlier today. One of the most jarring things about all of these old films, watching them, is you'll notice the old-time manisms, you know what I mean? Camera work, basically just how they set up their shots, things like that. This is one of those few movies where when I was watching it, I didn't even really pay too much attention to it. It's like while you're watching it, it just all kind of fades away, which is very hard for a movie to do in the first place, because I'm a person that looks for that stuff. I'm like, oh, hey, look, that shot, the sound editing here, blah, 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 blah. But with this one, it's one of those ones where even with its time, all that just melts away. And I'm literally just there for the adventure, and it's such a good one. It really is.
I was sucked into that thing so much. Acting was amazing. Directing was amazing.
I will say one of the more interesting aspects about what you already said, acting-wise, is one of the things that makes this movie special that a lot of movies just don't really pay attention too much anymore is that villain character. In this case, it is Norman Bates. But what makes him special is he doesn't really seem like a villain. You know what I'm saying?
There's a thing I heard or read somewhere. Well, no, let's face it, I heard it. I didn't read it. Where a good villain is someone you can kind of sympathize or empathize with. You know, a more obvious thing would be maybe like Anakin Skywalker going rogue. You know, like you kind of understand what he's doing, but you're not fully there. But this one does that to like the 10th power, where it's like, oh, I really like this guy. Oh, I wish you. He seems nice. You know, like John Wayne Gacy, such a nice guy. No one would have thought he killed anybody. think is a lucky movie indeed, because I think the original was heads.
It's the biggest heads I can give, seriously.
No, honestly,
it's literally one of my favorite movies of all time.
Even knowing what's going to happen and seeing it for the first time, honestly transforming to where the only Hitchcock movie I've seen before this is The Birds. And I've always been interested, like, because I know he's well known. I've just never seen a lot of his movies, but now I'm viciously going to be hunting for these movies and watching them. You know, so that's you did it, buddy. You know, it's very easy to see why this is as well known as it is, and why Alfred Hitchcock is well acclaimed. Like this, The Birds I thought was really good. This explained everything to me. Why? Yeah.
Legitimately, it's a movie that is still threatening modern movies today, and with its quality. It really is.
Knowing what's going to happen was left speechless. It was really cool. This is a spoiler review now. Norman Bates is his mom. You're back. You made it to this part of the video.
Yes.
Well, you know what, Sean? Remember how I said this movie was so fluid?
Yes.
Well, guess what? And I thought it could have been made in modern times.
Yeah.
Do you know what they did, Sean?
Yeah.
They remade it in modern times.
Yeah.
They did a remake.
Which is amazing.
Starring Vince Vaughn.
I think, yes.
Amongst others.
Yes. It's like someone took the casting, dice, just rolled it and went, wow, that's a shitty outcome, but I guess this is what we're going to have to go with.
I think everyone else was busy with good ones.
Yeah, they just looked for all of their, actors, and they're like, let's pull people from the Jurassic Park franchise.
Honestly. Mr. Kirby!
See, I could say this movie is technically competent, and technically it's good, and you can enjoy it. But it's mind-numbing how you can take a film that is so good in 1960 and bring it into 1998 and just basically make all the wrong decisions.
Right. Vince Vaughn portrays a different Norman Bates, for sure.
Very different.
Whereas in the 60s, he's more uppity, more like, oh, well, hey, how you doing?
Charismatic.
Well, my name's Norman Bates, welcome. He's like, oh, my Norman Bates.
12 cabins, 12 vacancies.
He did this little
takes you out of the movie completely.
Honestly, I was like, you'd say, oh, he's acting different. Oh, he's doing a laugh. And just that's what becomes, and that and that.
It's chewing noises. Basically, what made the first original Psycho good is that Norman, like you were saying, not relatable, but he's something you can understand.
Yeah.
Charismatic. You can understand him as a human.
You kind of want to talk to him.
Yes. In this one, they just went, make a good movie if he was actually just really creepy and not anything anyone likes.
And I'll be back as soon as it's ready.
You gotta run, girl, because you just sitting there going, oh, well, and dead stares.
Oh, yeah.
All the dead stares. Whereas the other guy's smiling. And it's like, oh, let's see, you want to talk to him. It's like, hey, what's going on? This new one's kind of like, Constantly, this was her the whole.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like if you want to go a different route, go a different road, but go a different road. You know what I mean? You can't have this. You can't be doing shot for shot and keeping the same theme and have one black sheep. It really throws you off.
Speaking of black sheep, can we talk about this black sheep right here? The major change in the first.
There's color in this one. Oh, is that?
That wasn't it. In the original, Norman has a little peephole scene,
yes.
He peeps on the main lead actor. Not that it's like, this is the first, bad Norman. And he even feels that himself, he's like, And this one, as soon as he opens that peephole, you hear a belt unbuckle. And I just remember sitting there and going all like, why is the belt unbuckling? And I thought I didn't think they were going to go there, but when you start hearing the noises.
You full hear just. Even hear.
Yeah,
you hear them.
You have like his head rocking back and forth.
Right?
We don't need this.
At first we heard the bell. We thought, that was her, because right when his bell dropped, her pants dropped too, because she's about to get in the shower.
Oh yeah, because they over-sexualize her.
Right. Oh yeah, they do.
But go.
But then. It's like, yo.
Just put that picture picture back.
My guy, I mean, at least like, clean the picture before you put it back up. Oh. How funny would it have been if we did see some white stuff?
Oh man, that would have been honestly horrifying. The most scary part of the whole film. The original Norman is just sick of the mind, but in a way where it's like he's trying to battle with his own, demons.
Yeah.
And this one, he's just like,
For real. These weird laughs. Like,
Following the formalities.
Yeah, but speaking of acting, he's not the only bad actor in this.
He's not.
Sadly, Viggo Mortensen's in it. And
Aragorn, what are you doing to me?
He's talking in a southern.
Well, I tell you what.
$400,000. But your mother knows where it is.
He's a cowboy.
Hey, yeehaw!
He's a cowboy.
And Walkman product placement.
Walkman product. Seriously, one of the main characters in this film walks in, is introduced as just like Walkman listening, rock listening,
Rock music
zombie.
out, right?
Yeah.
While she's trying to find out what's going on over here, Yeah,
and at one point, I think it was you that pointed out.
It's so much. We're like, we gotta go find her. Okay, well, let me get my Walkman.
They like jump into a scene. Like the script is identical except for these random little differences they would make. And it's so weird because the differences they would make, as small as they were some of the biggest deal-breaking dialogue changes.
It threw me off.
The biggest thing that pissed me off was just
Let him tell him. Tell him. You tell him.
Do you know what I'm...
No, I don't, so that's why I want you to tell him.
I don't understand how you could fuck up camera work so badly. Yeah,
I think Sean knows this. I don't usually look for these things.
Mm-hmm.
But when I compare and contrast, that's when I know. But your buddy here noticed right away.
Basically, it's as if the director was like, let's put the camera literally to people's faces. It's almost like they took the original shots and then just like zoomed in. And it's mind-numbing that you literally have a quality comparison. And you can clearly see that you're making the dumb decision, but they just go ahead and make it anyway.
There's some little parts that, aren't really memorable that I like that they might have put in there, sprinkled in there, but they're sprinkles, because it's taking place in the 90s as opposed to the 60s and they're different characters. Viggo Mortensen's character doesn't have a southern accent in the original, but he does, and so he does some things that are a little different, which I appreciated as part of the character.
I didn't. I'd say the one thing I liked about the new one is William H. Macy's character's nice. He acts mediocrely, but that's better than everyone else.
See, I feel like he was the only one really, I don't want to say trying, because I don't think anyone goes out with an intention to make a bad movie.
Yeah.
But when you're remaking a well-known film by a well-known director, you got all on your plate, and you better be able to step up to that plate. And if you don't, even if it's by a smidgen, it's gonna feel like it's way off. So when it's way off, in this case, it's gonna feel bad.
And it did.
It felt bad, looked bad, sounded bad, was bad.
It's just funny just seeing how a movie that is so revered and so good can just easily be turned into something that is so unenjoyable because of acting, because of camera works, things people don't really think about too much in the first place. But it's a good case of what happens when you don't make every aspect of your movie perfect, like the original Psycho did. Oh, I think the biggest thing I forgot. It felt rushed.
Yes.
Like, the first Psycho, you have so much time to build all the awkward emotions and stuff that come from the movie. And this one, you don't feel any emotion because it's just...
As if I could do anything except just sit and stare, like one of his stuffed birds. As if I could do anything except just sit and stare, like one of his stuffed birds.
No, the original, like you said, it slows it down, and you get a chance to kind of pick up on what they're saying, because it's a new movie, a new experience. Our light died.
Just keep going, man.
Well, I'm gonna keep going then. So I forgot where I was. So you get a chance to really concentrate on the words and the dialogue, and you get to soak in what's going on and what's being said. Whereas in the original, we're in the remake. It's really fast to where like you blink or you look away or you cough and it's bad. It doesn't work. So
It doesn't work. Like much like that light.
honestly, like it's amazing. Like to actually see the definition of a rush.
Oh, what's happening? I don't know.
I'm making it work. I'm making it work.
But no, Rush. You notice it right away.
Yes.
Right away, to where in the original it's like, oh Sean, how you doing? You know, I feel like we should go out. Let's go to some other restaurant. Yes.
Let me. Yes, we should go to that other restaurant.
I think I know what I'd like to order already.
I need to think about it. Now I know as well.
Remake. Yeah, want to grub?
Ah, these are good.
Do you know what you want?
Ah, yes.
Literally. How'd you feel about that remake, Sean? I'm sorry. What was that, Sean? I had tails too.
Sorry.
Just flip the coin and there it goes.
Doing my Viggo Mortensen right there.
Oh, if you want Viggo Mortensen, I tell you what, you know, you better say that's a tails, brother.
It's tails.
There's obviously an infamous shower scene, so when shower scene happens, I thought that was at the end of the movie. It's probably not spoiled, but it's so far in the beginning, but it's not. It might as well be with the credits.